Hey guys, Trent here from the New Dad Fitness Podcast. We're filming and voice recording in the gym today. So hopefully you guys can enjoy a little bit of visual. Guys get to look at my face a little bit. For the guys listening on the podcast, I'm about 5'11", blue eyes, nice wavy brown hair, a decent stubble on the beard. You guys just trying to pad for time a little bit, I guess there. But you guys know exactly what this is all about. Well, at least I hope you guys do. For the people who are new, this is a podcast where I like to talk about mental health, physical health, and everything sort of new dad. Right. I've been a PT for a coach for 7 years now, 7 or 8 years, something like that. So I'm going to try and put a lot of my fitness knowledge, my everything that I've learned over these past 7 years, and try and help as many new dads as I can, and really sort of give as much guidance as I can to all the new dads out there who kind of lost their way a little bit after their baby was born, really. So we're gonna get right into it today and start the podcast. This is episode 4. So we're going to talk all about macros and calories, and then I've got a leg day destruction workout at the end for you guys, so you can make yourselves cry a little bit at the end if you wish, if that's something that you want to do. I know I said last week that we're going to talk about how to reverse diet, but after reverse diet out of a calorie deficit, but after some feedback from a listener, thank you, Miranda, I decided to talk to you guys about calories and macros, so macronutrients, right? I want to break down the importance of calories and macros, so as we progress forward, you guys have an episode to reference from, so you don't get lost in sort of the nitty-gritty parts of how it all works. So basically, let's get started on the ins and outs of calories and macros. Pretty simple, right? So calories. These are the things that decide whether you're going to gain, lose, or maintain body weight. They're a unit of energy that allows us to live and function, right? So calories include various nutritional sources, and in this episode I'm going to specifically talk about the 3 main macros: protein, carbs, and fats, so that you, the listener and the watcher today, apparently, have a better understanding on how they work within the body and how you can correctly allocate them to allow for higher energy levels, better body composition, getting stronger, and overall sort of better health. So let's break down calories first, shall we? Calories in versus calories out. So when it comes to body weight, if you overeat your caloric maintenance, so your caloric maintenance is the amount of calories that you need to eat every day to maintain body weight. So if you eat over those, you will gain weight. And if vice versa, if you eat below your caloric maintenance, you'll lose weight. It's pretty simple stuff, right? So now you must establish your true caloric maintenance first, with no machines or like a watch or an app will be able to tell you what your caloric intake is accurately, right? So I said it in the previous episode with determining a calorie deficit. I think it was. What did we call it? Or getting rid of the dad bod guts. That's what we called it. I told you guys how to establish your caloric maintenance, and that was through use of data and trying to eat exactly the same thing, within a caloric range of, I guess, 100, 200 calories, give or take. You want to establish what your body weight is over 2 weeks without, any body weight fluctuations, and that will give you your caloric maintenance. Sorry. How that was supposed to be said, was that to establish your body weight, you need to not change your food for 2 weeks, and then track your body weight. And if your body weight doesn't fluctuate at all, then you know that that average of calories is your caloric maintenance. Just try not to go crazy with it, really. So going back to the machine, watch, or app, to establish your caloric maintenance. Like I noticed that MyFitnessPal will spit out a number at you when you first sign up, and you give them your ideas on what you want to do. So they say to you, hey, they say, do you want to lose weight or do you want to gain weight? And you put in lose weight, and it'll put your height, your age, your current weight, and your activity level, and it'll say, okay, this is your caloric number, and it gives you some absurd amount of carbs, moderate fat, and like fuck all protein. That's our first swear word for this podcast. Gives you absolutely no protein, which is not great, right? So they don't factor, they try to factor in energy output, but they don't account for the ups and downs in your diet, the cardio that you do at full tilt, or if you don't do it at full tilt, and the level of intensity at which you train at, like your workouts, like your resistance training workouts. So you could train at like a 5 reps from failure all the time and kind of just cruise and breeze through your workouts, and you'll most likely have a different metabolism to someone who trains closer to 1 to 2 reps from failure, because their intensity is much higher than yours, right? They're busting their balls trying to make sure that every goddamn rep counts, and they are pushing it as hard as they can. They're going balls to the wall. They also don't account for the amount of food that you're shoving into your gob, right? Whether that be a small amount of food or a large amount. So, basically don't trust them. It's pretty simple, yeah. We won't get into how many calories you should be eating, because that's for another podcast that we'll talk about that. We obviously need to keep these down to a time limit, but we'll do that for another podcast. It's just way easier for you guys to understand how to do it when we just go full numbers, and it's easier to understand instead of just throwing all of this information out at you at one go. So, but obviously, if you want me to go into depth in that, just let me know, and I'll do a podcast on it. It's pretty simple stuff. So now let's get into macronutrients, or macros for sure. I'm just going to say macros because it's fucking way easier, right? There's 3 basic macros that provide the body energy to sustain life, right? You got your protein, carbs, fats, and I'm gonna point out the 4th one, which is not really it's a macro, but we don't really need it. I call it the little devil child that isn't needed to sustain life. It's alcohol. Right, so we'll get into that one. I'll kind of briefly touch on that one a little bit later. But we've already gone through protein in the previous podcast when I was talking about protein powder and how to get jacked on it. But I'm going to go through it just really sort of vaguely here, so that you guys have that basic understanding, right? Protein is the macro that's predominantly used to build muscle. It's made up of smaller blocks called amino acids, which, in very simple terms, get moved into the muscle to help the body recover from a workout and help it repair itself. For every gram of protein that is consumed, so 1 gram of protein, you'll consume 4 calories, right? 1 gram of protein, 4 calories. And protein's found in meats like chicken, fish, beef, pork, as well as plant proteins, so like tofu, fava bean, rice protein, stuff like that. And as mentioned in the previous podcast, protein powder can be a really great way to increase your protein intake. Far out. I almost got lost it for a second then. Holy shit. Now we'll go into carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are basically sugars, fibers, and starches found in fruits, vegetables, grains, and milk products. And their basic function is to provide energy to the body. Carbs, once ingested, are processed by the body and then turned into glucose. Glucose is the more usable version of carbs that your body utilizes for energy production. And so for every gram of carbs you ingest, so every single gram, you also ingest 4 calories. So it's very similar to protein when it comes to caloric content, all right? But they're also very different when it comes to the body using them efficiently, and one is used a little bit better in terms of fat burning than what the other one is. I'll give you a hint. It's protein. Let's get into fats as well. So easily one of the more misunderstood macros. Fats are most important when... I'll touch on the misunderstood part for a little bit, because, you know, back in the 90s, I think it was the 90s and early 2000s, there was a huge stigma on protein. Fucking fats. A huge stigma on fats, right? Was that you ate fats, you were going to get fat. It was pretty simple. Like, everything that you could possibly see at the shops was low fat this, low fat that. And granted, you know, there are some bad fats, trans fats. I wouldn't advise for you to eat a lot of that. That's usually deep fried shit. You know, they had this really big stigma on don't eat fats because you're going to fucking get fat. As they tried to make the correlation between the fat that's on your body is the fat that you ingest, right? And now it was, well, you know, a little while ago, it's not so much now anymore, but it was carbs was a big deal. You know, keto was huge, paleo was huge, very low calorie diets was huge, even though it was kind of still based around fucking carbs, because nobody thought that, hey, protein is actually fucking better for you. Anyway, so yeah, carbs were the devil child for a little while too. Nobody really was like, oh, how's about we just fucking cut out alcohol? Dumb. Anyway, so yeah, the fats were fucking demonized. But when it comes to fats, their most important role is hormone production, and they needed to allow the body to transport. Now we're going to get a little bit technical here. They're needed in the body to allow the body to transport fat-soluble vitamins and minerals throughout the body. So basically, vitamins and minerals that can only be used by the body if they're hitching a ride on a fat molecule. So they jump on, ride me, fatty, slap that fat molecule and just go into the muscle or go into the fucking body, wherever they're going, right? They jump on, chuck their fucking cowboy hat on and ride that fat wave. Fucking hell. Good oils, such as olive oil, anything sort of rich in omega-3s, and oils from seeds, nuts, and fatty fish are all fantastic. So you get some really good fat from these nuts. Fats per gram is worth around 9 calories, so it's quite dense in caloric intake. It's quite dense in caloric intake, hence why we tend to eat less of them in our diet, right? So it's basically, you know, double and a bit on carbs and protein, right? So fats are fucking essential, and they taste good when they're mixed with carbs too. You mix carbs and fats together, bliss, man. Anything with fats in it, really, you know, nice big fatty bit of meat. Oof, let's go. And we'll touch on alcohol real quick. Alcohol is the macro that isn't utilized by the body in any real way, shape, or form. Basically, it's 7 calories per gram. And it does fuck all for your body. It does nothing, really. It just kind of gets utilized, makes you pissed a little bit, and you feel like shit. So, if I was you, I wouldn't waste my alcohol. I wouldn't waste my calories on alcohol, because you're not really getting a whole nutritional benefit from it. Granted, right? I do like a red wine. Yeah, I like a red wine. I like a nice bourbon. I like those things. I like a nice rum at the moment, actually. I'm a bit of a fucking rum fiend. Basically, you can call me Jack Sparrow. So, yeah, you don't want to replace too many calories with alcohol, because it's just not worth it. Okay. So now that is from what I've just told you, right? When I was writing this script out, I was like, well, fuck, that's a whole lot of information. That's like a shitload of information on calories. And next week we'll talk about how to sort of calculate your macros properly. But if you'd like to get a head start on that, quick little cheeky plug. I've got a free ebook. I've had it for fucking what? Probably like 4 or 5 years now. The information, it hasn't changed, because it doesn't need to change, right? It's all basic stuff. I've got a free ebook that has all the details in it, how to calculate your macros, basically like what a macro is, fats, protein, carbs, that sort of stuff. It's all in a super easy to understand format. So you can go to trentbainespt.com.au /free-ebook. I'll link it in the show notes so you guys can see it. But all you need is an email, and I'm not going to send you fucking promotional shit, like 100%. Just you got to put your email in there because the fucking website wants it. I didn't ask for it. You can put your email in there. It says I love feet pics @gmail.com. I don't give a fuck. I swear to God, if one of you sign up and you actually get that free ebook and you put I love feet pics @gmail.com, I'm gonna fucking laugh. Make sure you put your actual real name and you put your actual real name and your surname so that I can send you a message and fucking laugh at you. It'd be hilarious. I would laugh really, really hard. Anyway, that is pretty much it for calories and macros and sort of the basics around it. All right. So I'm going to give you a leg day destruction workout. From what I can tell, this is going to be a fucking quick episode. Holy shit. I'm only at 16 minutes and, 16-ish, 15-ish minutes, and we're fucking slamming through this. So, you guys can get this shit done, and it seems like my podcasts are getting quicker and quicker every week. I'm trying to figure out how to get me shit together. I kind of don't have me shit together, but we'll see what happens. So let's do the leg day destruction workout. So this is the type of leg workout that makes you question every single reason why you even go to the gym in the first place. All right, one of these ones. It's one of those ones that it's one of those ones that's going to make you cry in the car park because the leg press hurt you, and the leg press is the first exercise. Okay, going to get off going, why the fuck am I even doing this shit? So put your big boy pants on, double scoop your pre-workout, pump some fucking Nickelback. This is how you remind me what I really, or play a bit of Animals. I'm gonna just go real off tangent here real quick. Animals by Nickelback has to be one of the sexiest songs ever made. Fucking fight me. If I don't get a single message about that, I'm gonna just think that you guys agree. Sexiest song ever made, Nickelback. I used to listen to that and go, man, this guy's like railing this bird in the back of his car. Fucking hell. Anyway, that's disgusting, Trent. Stop it. Double scoop your pre-workout, pump up some Nickelback and get that shit done. Bring your lifting straps, weight belt, and your best can-do attitude because shit's gonna get fucking spicy. All right. So, first off, when it comes to leg days, you should always make sure that you do a warm-up before you actually get into the workout. So do your big compound movements 1 to 2 times with the warm-up weight, and then go hard as fuck. So, you get into your 45-degree leg press and do 1 to 2 warm-ups, slowly working up to your working weight. Just say if your working weight is 250 kilos on a leg press, you do 100 keg, and then probably do like 200 keg, and then 250, or even like 180 and then 250, something like that. Don't want to shock yourself too much, yeah? So going into the workout, we're going to start off with a 45-degree leg press. This is going to hit the top of your quads, depending on where you put your feet. So if I was you, put your feet lower than normal, so that you get a little bit more stretch in the quad, right? The calf comes closer to the hamstring, right? So you got more of a bend rather than having your feet high, which is going to keep your knees in that sort of 90-degree position. You want to bring them a little bit lower, so we want to hit those quads a bit harder. 3 sets, 6 to 8 reps with 2 reps in reserve, right? Kind of want to make sure that we're not going too fucking hard right now, right? Just ease up, cowboy. Go hard, but we kind of need a little bit of energy for the rest of the workout. Exercise number 3 is a Romanian deadlift. I prescribe these in every single leg workout for all of my clients because they are fucking legit, and they are sick. All right, these ones kind kind of, from my own coach, Marto, he basically told me that I needed to have a cup of cement and harden the fuck up when I was doing them. I was only really hitting it at like fucking 80 kilos, 90 kilos. And then he just was like, dude, just pull your finger out, have a crack at like 100, 110. And that's what I did. And it was pretty sick. So you can really load up on these. Just, watch your lower back. If you need to put your belt on, put a belt on. And strap that in tight to keep your lower back nice and tight. And just focus on nice slow eccentric movements. So 2 down, slight little pause at the bottom. So down for like 1, 2, pause, 1, 2. Well, probably like a quick up. You wouldn't really want to go fucking 2 on the way up because that'd suck ass. But yeah, nice and controlled. Pretty much the whole movement. Nice big stretch in those hamstrings. And if you need to, if you've got hyper flexible hamstrings, you're gonna have to chalk yourself up on some blocks or something like that to get the full stretch. Girls are mainly like this. They tend to get really good stretch in their hamstrings. Don't know why. 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps, 2 to 3 RAR. All right, next one. Oh, my favorite, a walking lunge. 2 sets, 12 to 15 reps per leg with 1 in the tank, so 1 RAR. I only put 2 sets in here because these fucking suck so much. And I want you to take a bit of a shorter step with these so that we hit a little bit more quad. We're not going for glute, even though you're probably going to wake up with a sore ass in the morning, right? Because you've been fucking reamed by this leg workout. But you want to take a nice short step with the walking lunge so that we can get a good emphasis in those quads. All right. Machine leg curls, right? So jumping into a pin loaded machine or like a plate loaded machine or whatever, and curling those bad boys in, try and hit those hamstrings. Make sure you tilt your toes upwards towards the roof so that we can really shorten that hamstring and get as much action on that on the back of the ham as possible. All right, 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps, 0 to 1 RAR. Now this one you can change it up a bit if you want. It's either a Pendulum Squat Machine if you've got that at your gym, or if you don't have one of those, then go into like an Elevated Heel Goblet Squat. You can even do this on like a Smith machine if you wanted to, but holding a dumbbell in front of you, lifting your heels up nice and high, and then dropping down into like a ass to grass squat and really keeping that chest up nice and high. We're trying to hit all through the whole part of this quad, right? Really trying to destroy it and break it down. Nice big stretch. 2 sets, 15 to 20 reps, so it's going to really blow your mind. 0 to 1 RAR. And then we've got a seated calf raise. 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps, 0 to 1 RAR. Pretty simple. And that's it when it comes to the leg day destruction workout. Drink some water, suck in the big ones, and go sit in your car and contemplate life, because I probably reckon you're going to do that. So, guys, that's pretty much it from me this week. Hope you're all finding these podcasts super helpful and learning a thing or two. Remember to follow me on Spotify and Apple. On Spotify, leave me a rating and give me a follow. That helps tremendously. And follow or subscribe on Apple Podcasts. I don't know because I don't have an Apple. I told you this last week. So leave me a 5-star review on there. I'm pretty sure you can leave 5-star reviews because every podcast that I've ever listened to said, leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. So I think that's how it all works. So anyway, this is me signing off again. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll speak to you all later. Okay, bye.